Hello guys, it's the Mighty Gebra, back with another video. So today, we'll be debunking the factual scalar, or, well technically it's not him, it's Booga. We'll be debunking Booga and his Sonic Cosmology Doc, so-called.
Yep.
However,
First of all, here to help out.
Alright.
Oh, did you start recording?
Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah, this is the high ground, man.
The high ground. Yeah, the high ground. You know what?
I'm also known as...
You know what's the real high
You've also
ground?
seen me before. I'm Goku's best MC as well.
You know what's the real high ground, though? The Sage Hentai. Nothing beats it, bro.
Bruh.
Nothing. Anyway.
Stay on topic, boy.
It's, the one that just spoke is Corrupt Demigod. You should know him from, you should know him from my previous videos. On my other channel.
I'm also known as Soulful Knight of the Flames.
Yeah. It's Percival, Knight of the Flames, so, and he has a Quora as well. So, yeah. We're just gonna be debunking this video. I didn't want to do it because it was very dumb. But if we don't...
I can attest to that. I just watched this shit not too long ago. And I'm already losing brain cells.
Alright, so here's how it's going to work. When we want to say something, or we want to debunk something, tell me to pause the
I can't see
video.
anything.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, now I can see.
Alright.
Alright, let's start.
Hello, this is Booga Mastery, or you can call me Booga for short. This is how I am known on Discord, right, and part of a Factual Scalars video here, right, given the task to debunk some of the atoms within the scaling, and, possibly more. So from this specific scaling video, he says that every atom contains an infinite-sized universe. The first scan he shows says anything in terms of anything that actually references infinity. Bam! I'll switch to full power and shrink you into infinity. If he's claiming that this inherently means, just an infinite-sized universe contextually, this would be a selective attention fallacy, as the context quite literally says, shrink into infinity. The definition of shrink means become smaller, right? An infinity, or any sort of infinity, means something that grows greater and greater and never really ends, right?
I already found the problem, but does anybody want to talk first?
I mean, I already put the scan there with...
Go ahead. I'll go first. So, if you go into the Chaos Force right here, you can say the scans I'm about to talk about right here.
Alright.
The atoms in Sonic literally are infinite. It's not that we're not reading the full scan. We can show further proof of this by using the Sonic X comic. It shows the comic worlds are literally dreams.
Well, they dreamed of a, realm that had the device that makes you travel to altered dimensions that are in subatomic atoms, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, the future of that.
And I'm
also, in Archie, they literally define infinity as having no limits, so... And that's literally what he specifically says.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can scroll down there, I put the scan there.
I'm scrolling through the scans right now so everyone can see.
Yeah.
After you're done, Matt, you can scroll all the way down so we know the same thing since we plugged them.
Yeah, some of this stuff isn't in order, so
It's not.
I mean, most of it's in order.
yeah. I posted a little too late.
It's fine. Not a big deal.
Yeah, this is an Archie
Just takes
as
a little
well.
bit scrolling down.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
are
okay, now
traveling
you're done showing
to
now.
the limits of infinity, but there are no limits to infinity. Yeah.
Alright, if you scroll back up. So I go over how dreams and Sonic the Hedgehog / nights in the dreams worlds are literally Jungian theory of the collective unconscious. I first go over how, well, if you want, you can wait on that, since I screenshotted the actual parts we need for that.
Wait, screenshot it?
Yeah, it's right down here when I brought up Nidcom. First, let's go over this. Zuka even proves this is true and says it's even the primary foundation, while confirming Knights is a Jungian archetype of the
we gotta
shadow.
scroll in on this.
Well, we can start that.
Yeah. You guys can see the scans. I zoomed in so you guys can see it. Since it was too zoomed out on Discord.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
It literally calls dreams dream worlds. So, like, shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, it also talks about the subconscious. And then the last one I brought up right here it says, okay, the interview of speaking at Tony Klein Naruto Extremo focuses on some important issues regarding the domain. From the design to gameful aspects. Alright, after that, let's scroll back up to where I brought up Lazuka, since that is going to be a key part of evidence.
Izuka proves this is true and says it's even the primary foundation while confirming Knights is a Jungian archetype of the shadows.
Character. But the team members really liked the idea of setting the game inside of a dream world. Once we decided to go with a dream world, what we wanted to do was something that wouldn't just be some kind of fantastical dream, but more representative of actual dreams that people might have at night. I read a lot of books and other literature about dreams and the deep psyche in order to learn how to faithfully create an actual dream. There are a lot of books out there by experts. The primary foundation I used was the work of Carl Jung, but I referenced the works of several people who had done proper scientific research on the topic of dreams in order to construct the dream world and also the characters that appear in those dreams. The character of Knights represents what's known in psychology as the shadow, which is sort of an alter self.
Psychology.
Wait, that's in the Knights into Dreams game itself in the remaster, by the way.
Persona Mask.
Yep. That's the psychology of dreams.
The psychology of dreams also features prominently in the game's new features. Persona masks, items that let knights capture the power of a dolphin, dragon, or a rocket, were inspired by famed psychologist Carl Jung.
One of his ideas was that we create personas, or archetypes psychologically, and I always wanted to use that in a game. I came up with the idea specifically for Knights of using a persona mask. I wanted players to re-experience levels, go back in a new mask, and find new things to do.
So, yeah.
Alright. So we went over Nidcom already, I think. Yeah, that's all we have to go over right now. We can go back to the video for now. until
Yeah.
he brings up the infinite variation.
I also wanted to say that he's going to argue that he's arguing that the subatomic worlds, they're infinitesimal. But the problem is, infinitesimal is the exact opposite of infinity. Infinitesimal is smaller than the finite, even. It cannot be infinite if it's infinitesimal. Infinitely small is smaller than something with a limit.
The fact that it's smaller than the actual universes themselves, which are also type of conscious, isn't really anti-strong at all. Alright. We can get back to the video when you're ready.
Right. So something that's being shrunken into infinity would realistically result in something that is quote unquote infinitesimal. Something that
See, I told you. I told you. I told you you would. I told you you would. An indefinitely small quantity, a value approaching zero, or extremely small. That cannot be infinity, and definitely not in the way that the Sonic comic is using it. So let's continue.
that is infinitely small, right? And then the second scan shows that someone got shrunken to be smaller than an atom. Now, these scans quite literally shows these balls, which we can actually assume are atoms, are not actually bigger than the person in question. However, though, we can indeed, if we do assume that these are actually bigger, this doesn't necessarily mean anything, as this would.
What? If they were bigger, it wouldn't necessarily mean anything?
Yeah, I don't get that argument.
I'm not getting what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
If something is bigger,
I don't
it would
hear
mean
you.
something. Because that would imply it's big, which means it's not small, which means it can't be infinitesimal.
Realistically only mean that atoms are infinitely small. If you are saying that he actually gotten shrunken to that level in the first scan, which isn't even coherent anyway.
Let's see. The effects of the ray are wearing off. I'm growing back to my usual size. Bah! I'll switch to full power and shrink you into infinity. So, that's literally what it says. How's that not coherent? It says he shrunk him into another infinity. That's literally what it says. Anything else is make-believe. Alright, let's continue.
And then he also shows that Sonic entered a universe that is quote unquote even smaller than an atom.
Okay, High Ground, you sent me the scans. You want to show the scan where it's shown that Amy was in a ship that was bigger in a subatomic world than in the than another ship she was in Sonic's own world?
Oh, damn.
Remember that?
I go? I guess not. I guess that's no.
Hold on. Let me go to Fleetway. Hold on. Go to Fleetway. Okay. So, In Fleetway Sonic Comics, Chapter 88, notice how simply shrinking smaller than an atom is known as shrinking into infinity. Also displays atoms just like when universes are called atoms. Issues later supporting infinity. This is the full scan. This is the full scan so you get full context. Wait, what's this? Fleetway Sonic Comics shows atoms contains universes. Okay, I shrunk so small that I've entered a universe that's smaller than an atom. But that atom is stated to be an infinity. So it's still endless. It's just smaller than Sonic's own world. That's why they call Sonic's world the world beyond. It says, are you also from the world beyond?
Adding on to that, actually, as well. Yeah. There's that. And the fact that Sonic actually proves that atoms are dreams, and we've just proven that dreams and Sonic are collective unconscious from Jones' theory, pretty clearly that it's not like 3D or anything like that.
I also wanted to bring this up, but basically, you see that that it says as I became smaller and smaller, I realized that I was entering a different universe. A universe so small it existed inside a single atom. But in the scan, you see him traversing a space before landing on a planet. Now, I don't want to,
that scan even calls it distant planet, far away from home.
I also wanted to, send a scan. Where is it?
I think I'd scanned it earlier, so plant bogus even, but I didn't read that. I didn't reread it.
They were, Amy and Sonic were even, sent on a space race inside the, atomic world. Let me, So,
They even had nano things into atom universes. Wasn't there a scan where she said said the spaceship was like smaller than the one she wrote before also.
They also called it a dimension. And dimensions in Sonic like contain, well, they contain concepts of reality, concepts of time, concepts of space, concepts of length, width, and height, concepts of physical dimensions. Hold on, let me get the scan for that. Oh my god. This is going to be a long video, isn't it?
Not as long as the ones we usually make, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Because last time I was muted for some reason when I was talking in one of the videos. It was in like a debunk video. And just about.
Jeez. What? Where is it? Okay, there you go.
Here's a question from Rolling Frenzy. Can or does the term dimension in Sonic refer to concepts of reality, concepts of size, concepts of worlds, universes, zones, and realms or planes? Can it also contain them? For example, Blaze's world is contained in her dimension. Yes or no?
My understanding is that dimensions are the biggest bucket that everything else fits into. So yes, Blaze's world is in her dimension. Blaze's universe, Blaze's solar system, Blaze's different planes of existence, they are in her dimension. Likewise, Sonic's world, Sonic's universe, all of his crazy crap, it's in his dimension. And within the dimension, you have concepts of, height, length, width, depth, time, whatever the fifth dimension's called, I don't remember. Actual physical dimensions are contained within the sci-fi concept of a dimension. They are dimensional dimensions. Dimensions within the dimension.
Dimension. So many dimensions.
Might cause dementia.
I'm not even... Do I have a booster? Volume booster? Hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm not sure if anybody heard that, so...
Question from Rolling Frenzy. Can or does the term dimension in Sonic refer to concepts of reality, concepts of size, concepts of worlds, universes, zones, and realms or planes? Can it also contain them? For example, Blaze's world is contained in her dimension. Yes or no?
My understanding is that dimensions are the biggest bucket that everything else fits into. So yes, Blaze's world is in her dimension. Blaze's universe, Blaze's solar system, Blaze's different planes of existence, they are in her dimension. Likewise, Sonic's world, Sonic's universe, all of his crazy crap, it's in his dimension. And within the dimension, you have concepts of, height, length, width, depth, time, whatever the fifth dimension's called, I don't remember. Actual physical dimensions are contained within the sci-fi concept of a dimension. They are dimensional dimensions. Dimensions within the dimension.
Dimension. So many dimensions.
Might cause dementia.
Yeah, so, sorry for the ear rape for some of that, but, you get the idea. Dimensions in Sonic contains concepts of space, concepts of time, concepts of dimensions, well, at least physical dimensions, I think. And, things of that sort. So, since, you know, and I'll zoom in on it. Since the atom is called a dimension, it would contain those things as well. And if you know about physical dimensions, then there's this thing called Rn, and like, it's basically different infinities of space. So it containing time and space would automatically make it some kind of infinity one way or the other. And that's just lowballing it. It contains Jungian archetypes in the collective unconscious. So there you go. And I also wanted to... Huh?
Nothing, you're fine, go ahead.
And if you can see these scans, it's implied that the reason the atomic world seems smaller is because they're not in the same space. That's literally the reason. Hold on, let me get to that scan right here. Right here. This machine will enlarge the microverse of Shanazar until it occupies the same space as the planet Mobius. And that was just the planet, basically. So it can be deducted that the only reason why the atomic worlds seem smaller is because they aren't in the same space. Not only that, but something else. I just have to look for it.
And fused with the planets, so like the planet's like a universe as well. So,
yeah. Even in the Atom universe, Amy says that she rode a smaller spaceship last time, referencing the time she rode a spaceship in the normal universe. Okay, I flew a smaller spaceship once. This can't be that much different. And this is in the atomic universe. Now, okay. If the Atom universe was really infinitesimal, she could not ride... The spaceship from the normal universe would not be smaller than that one. That's just common sense. Yeah, and Amy rode a spaceship, so this is the spaceship she considers smaller than the one in the Atom universe. As you can see here. So that kind of debunks what the guy's been saying. Anyway, let's go to the next one.
And he's assuming that this universe is infinite because there's a white screen in the background, I'm guessing, because there's absolutely nothing that even shows that, right?
that's not the reason. It's because when you shrink into an atomic universe, it's literally called infinity. But okay.
Right, so realistically, this would be an appeal to belief and simply a hasty generalization. Just because
It's none of those. It's none of those. I mean, just read what he posted. Drawing a conclusion based on a small sample size, rather than looking at statistics that are much more in line with the typical or average situation. First of all, this guy has not posted anything that contradicts the atom universes being in infinity. Another thing is, there's no statistics on this. There's no statistics. So how can it be hasty generalization?
Absolutely none. No statistics.
And this is from www.logicallyfallacious.com, which is pretty reliable in noting fallacies. So, come on, gotta do better.
because we don't see any limit to something does not necessarily mean it has none. For example,
It's called an infinity outright. Why don't you get explicit proof that it's not an infinity? Then we can talk.
I can get trapped underground and, not see any limit to the darkness. However, that doesn't mean the darkness is infinite.
That's not even remotely the same situation here. The difference is, we have shrinking being compared to being a different level of infinity, compared to you being trapped deep underground with there being an unknown amount of size and limits to it. But yet again, infinity has no limits, so yeah. There's also the fact that there are things in the atom universe that are bigger than things in the normal universe, which means it can't really be smaller. So I don't see the point you're trying to make.
So all of the other statements made in this statement, in which he's trying to get this atom to boundless, right, doesn't necessarily make any sense, as not even a higher infinity was even established in the first place, which
It's called infinity. Sonic's universe is larger than that infinity. Therefore, it has to be a greater infinity. It's logic.
Yep.
It's common sense.
entirely the point of an inaccessible cardinal and high 1A inverse battles. Okay.
Wait. He mentioned inaccessible cardinals? Oh, nah. I gotta get this guy. Hold on, I got something. Because he's basically asking for evidence that Sonic has transfinite mathematics.
About to bring up Sonic into the fourth dimension.
Yep.
Nice.
Lol.
In Chaos Force. Oh man, that was a disgusting story. see. There's pure science, and there is... Actually, let me just read it. It was broken, quite so badly so. Still, I was able to work out the scientific principles behind it. Time behaves much like the normal world around us, only in more dimensions. And working out how to manipulate it is simple so long as you can do transfinite mathematics in your head and understand the concepts of parallel universes. So, not only does transfinite mathematics exist in a verse, but concepts of parallel universes. The concepts. So, since transfinite mathematics is implied to be a property of that world, and you need to understand transfinite mathematics to comprehend time in Sonic, that would make the atom world being a different infinity an inaccessible cardinal worth, as transfinite mathematics includes inaccessible cardinals. Alright, let's go.
So let's get into the cosmology that this video is trying to show here. So it's trying to say that this hand here, or this someone in question, has the power to break a zone with his bare hands. So far, millions of multiverse zones have been destroyed by this thing. Millions is a finite number. You need to scan does absolutely nothing to prove any of the scaling, unless you're trying to prove that a specific character scales to that specific part of the cosmology.
What? Is he trying to argue that Mogul doesn't scale to destroying millions of multiverses, or what?
No, I just think he's trying to say the scan's like irrelevant to cosmology. Even though, like,
well, in comparison to the other ones, it is irrelevant. I'll concede to that. I mean, what's millions of multiverse zones to infinite parallel universes?
continue.
The second scan shows there are infinite variations of our worlds. Some are very similar, whilst others are vastly different.
What?
So I can't wait to roast this man what he's about to say.
Alright.
Are infinite variations of our worlds. Some are very similar, whilst others are vastly different. Entire universes separating from one another. Now, realistically, we can actually dismiss that scan via just blatant hyperbole and therefore a hasty generalization.
What?
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
You can't dismiss it like... You cannot dismiss it by hyperbole. Okay, if you want the task force, I got scanned here. The infinite possibility evolutions from wiring, since you cannot dismiss the infinite variations from wiring. Since even the games like Sonic Heroes states that there are infinite possibilities. Sonic CD is the Sonic game that affirms it. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, here's the scan that Sonic in the fourth dimension is canon, since it's copyrighted and owned by Sega and shit.
Right.
So, like, there you go. Anyway,
right.
Let's go to,
There you go. The possibilities is very
4 teams, 12 heroes, 1 brand new game. The next stage of Sonic. Be bad, be good, be bold, be fast. Be whatever you want. Because now, you can be 3 characters simultaneously. Choose from 4 teams. Strap in, Hold on and get ready to experience an infinite number of possibilities.
Sonic CD is a solid game that affirms that for every possibility, there exists alternative futures from them. Here's the quote right here. The future symbol takes you one step ahead in time from past to present, or from present to future, since no one can set the future. There are two different possibilities. A future where Little Planet is free of robotics control, or a future where Dr. Robotnik has been allowed to run amok. Saying two events observed or not observed has occurred in two possibilities.
And you can see the scan where this is said. The future symbol takes you one step ahead in time, from past to present, or from present to future. Since no one can set the future, there are two different possibilities. A future where the little planet is free of Robotnik's control, or a future where Dr. Robotnik has been allowed to run amok.
I won't go on a rant here, but it's entirely stupid to argue against 2A Sonic the Hedgehog. Even Ian Flynn himself confirmed the multiverse has infinite possibilities and variations. It was very literal.
Yeah. He said the multiverse is infinite variations on infinite possibilities. I should stress Mega Man isn't part of the multiverse though. Mega Man is from his own bubble of reality entirely, which in turn has its own multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
That could mean that each, now that I think about it, that could mean each parallel universe is its own macrocosm of a multiverse. Nah, I never gave it that much thought. That's what it could be. Not only that,
we can go back to video now.
The world's dreams in Sonic should automatically be assumed to have their own structures akin to a space-time continuum, since they are called parallel.
No, actually, we should actually wait on that until he brings it up.
Alright.
We should go back to the video first.
Is this
if we really want.
the debunk video right here?
Yes, it's a video.
Yeah.
And via just blatant hyperbole and therefore a hasty generalization if we really wanted to. However, though, since it does say universe can indeed mean quote-unquote all of space and all of time in any scientific definition, then we can indeed assume that these are at the very least juicy structures. Or indeed assume that
Probably watching the best.
Okay.
Please.
Dude, when you want to say something, please tell me to pause the video. I want people to be able to hear what he's saying.
Yeah. I continue. He got muted.
These are at the very least juicy structures or low multiversal structures, or at the very least that these universes are separate. However, though, assuming that they're separate space-time continuums, though, would indeed be somewhat fallacious, as we do know that they didn't even specify any difference in time whatsoever, and they even
What? Yeah, it's time to bring up that scan. The world / dreams in Sonic the Hedgehog should be assumed to have their own structures akin to a space-time continuum, since they are called parallel, instead to be in completely separate dimensions. This world and Dr. Eggman's world exist in separate dimensions. Each of us can think of the other as what is known as a parallel universe. Worlds in separate dimensions, which means there will be a separate space and time.
use the context of world. World doesn't necessarily refer to universe unless it's in very, very specific contexts in which one.
Really? Hold on. Let me just look up the synonym of world. Synonym. Let's see. Synonyms of universe: world, nature, creation, cosmos, existence, macrocosm, reality. And I already, funny enough, have a scan that addresses this from Ian Flynn. He said, so the question was, does the definition of parallel universes that exist in our world exist in Sonic's? Ian Flynn says sure.
Beast has a question. Does the definitions of parallel universes that exist in our world exist in Sonic's?
If you truly believe, yes, they can.
But do they? Not can they,
Yes,
do
sure.
they?
I suppose. We've answered this a dozen times in a dozen ways at this point.
I'm pretty sure you're right. I think this is just the same question reworded that we've answered before. Here's one from...
Okay. Now, I know what you're gonna be like. I know what you're gonna be like. So, he said sure. It doesn't mean that he means yes. And to that, hold on. Let me go to my hold on.
It's time to improve your writing game with Grammarly Go. Grammarly Go is an AI service.
Because I had to ask this, and I was humiliated because of this. Look,
Another one from Mighty Quibura. Hey Ian, when you say sure or yeah, that's another way of saying yes, right? I'm not sure this is supposed to be a joke, but it is kind of funny. It depends on what your definition of is, right?
Oh Lord, I'm dizzy. I'm dizzy. Yes. Sure. Yeah.
and you guys see what you guys did to me? He literally laughed. Oh my god. He said yes. When he said sure or yeah, he says he means yes. So I don't want to hear that shit ever again. That, oh no, he doesn't mean yes. And what else? Okay. Hello, Ian. Do you think the concepts and knowledge in our world exists in Sonic's world, and that knowledge is accessible through books and the like in Sonic? Their world is similar to ours and even a bit more advanced. So I'd say at the very least, similar things can exist there. Ian Flynn said yes.
From The Shimmer. Hello, Ian. Do you think the concepts and knowledge in our world exist in Sonic's world and that knowledge is accessible through books and the like in Sonic? Their world is similar to ours and even a bit more advanced, so I'd say that at the very least, similar things can exist there.
Yes.
If you say.
And he didn't say that sure shit. He said yes. So, the concepts of things like, oh, a world is a universe, that exists in Sonic. I don't even know why this even had to be said. It's blatantly obvious that world means universe in Sonic. But you know, people beyond that can't really. I mean, it's nice to be skeptical, so like, you look through things and see what's up, but like, sometimes it just becomes questionable for no reason.
universe is already established, right? So this also gets supported by the fact that in the scan there's literally multiple Earths, right? So
Why? Why? Why am I debunking this? This doesn't even. Damn, bro. So I guess any scan where a universe is represented as an Earth for simplicity, I guess that just means that, nah, bro, those are all planets, not universes, bro. Definitely not, bro. Nah. Definitely. No. No. No, bro. What?
Yeah, I guess he sees Earths are just Earths now.
Nah, bro, they're clearly not referring to universes, even though Dr. Wiley explicitly says entire universes existing separate from one another. Actually, that wasn't even Dr. Wiley. That was Eggman. And then Dr. Wiley says, so we're from universes. Fascinating. So, that scan debunks the idea that the universe is supposed to be just a planet. The planet is just used for simplicity. Oh my fucking god. I feel like stopping, but we have to push.
Nah, we're this far, so we might as well do it now.
Yeah.
So realistically, right, we can realistically more contextually assume that this scan refers to an infinite number of planets or an infinite amount of finite structures, right?
An infinite amount of finite structures. Do you know how paradoxical that is? That's like saying JoJo's infinity is not infinite because it's an infinite amount of finite spaces. An infinite amount of something would be beyond any finite limit. Infinity greater than infinity. That's literally all this means.
Bubbles and infinity, baby.
Oh my lord, bro.
Oh, let's continue.
And no, it's clearly referring to universes. The scan literally says entire universes. And I'm looking at the other scan, says yes, it's working. I can see far beyond the other realm. Alternate universes. Endless variety of realities. Infinite galaxies housing countless worlds. So,
That's true.
nobody sees the problem with what he's saying. It not only ironically confirms infinite-sized universes, but it also confirms infinite alternate universes. Oh my god, this is going to be long.
Right? But if you really want to, we can assume these as different universes, right? Now, the second scan here from the comics says it's working. I can see far beyond the other realm, alternate universes, endless variety of realities, infinite galaxies housing countless worlds. Now, this indeed has enough context for an infinite multiverse, if you really want to actually interpret it that way.
Ian Flynn literally says the Sonic multiverse is infinite. Let me just.
We already went over that.
We already did. But someone will say that I didn't debunk it, so I am forced to show it again. The multiverse is infinite. Infinite variations on infinite possibilities. God, man.
This can indeed be referring to infinite planets, as I said before.
It can't.
No,
The scan literally says otherwise.
It literally can't. It literally can't. It mentioned alternate universes and then endless variety of realities. That cannot refer to a planet. Unless you're, like, are you trying to say that planets in Sonic contain infinite galaxies and infinite universes? Because that would just make Sonic more broken, and I don't think you want that.
For real.
Yeah, let's continue.
However, though, this does not refer to a higher infinity as some would actually, estimate it to be. For example, we have the fact that these alternate universes, endless variety of realities, infinite galaxies housing countless worlds. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that these infinite galaxies, right, each universe necessarily has an infinite amount of galaxies.
But no, you're saying that it's referring to a planet. And where do planets exist? In a universe. Therefore, since these planets contain infinite galaxies, the universe would contain infinite galaxies. Like, you argue one way, and it still works in our favor.
Right? Obviously, throughout infinite universes, since each universe creates a galaxy, this would inherently mean that each universe, this would in total an infinite galaxies throughout this entire multiverse it's referring to. So this is...
That's not what it's referring to. And you don't even have any evidence that's what it's referring to. Like, if you look at the context of that comic, they're talking... Oh my god. They're talking about Sonic's universe. Which is, again, separate from Sabrina's. And yes, that character is from Sabrina, the Teenage Witch.
is not referring to a higher infinity without further context. Alternate universes, endless variety of realities, infinite galaxies housing countless worlds. He literally structures infinite galaxies after infinite universes is established, right? This would mean that this would only support the contextualization that, there's infinite universes would obviously equate to infinite galaxies as well.
Of course, if there's infinite universes, there's going to be ones with infinite galaxies. That's just a given. And there's also... Hold on. Modal realism. Just look this up. Ian Flynn confirms Sonic is compatible with modal realism.
Here's a question from the mighty Gabura. There's this philosophy that possible worlds exist or are real. We've seen possible paths in Sonic before, like with CD and Shadow the Hedgehog, implied to be actual. So is it compatible with that philosophy?
Sure. I mean, we have, an established Blaze's alternate dimension, although that's not really a parallel to Sonic's, I guess. Prime is kind of touching upon that with the Shatterverse.
Well, is this just still recording? Thank God it's recording. Yeah. The philosophy that possible worlds are real is literally modal realism. Sonic confirmed, Ian Fleet confirmed, the modal realism exists in Sonic. That's basically what he did. So, there could be... So, here's how possible worlds work. It can be true that there's a possible world with one galaxy. Because it's possible. It's something that could be. Therefore, it's true. Now, you can also use the same method to deduct that there are universes with infinite galaxies, or universes within universes, as that's a world that could be. So I just wanted to make that clear.
Not that there's infinite galaxies between each universe, right?
No. They mention it in order. Alternate universes. Then, infinite galaxies housing countless worlds. Now, we know they mentioned universes, which would then contain realities, which would contain galaxies, which would contain countless worlds. And worlds in this context seems to be referring to a planet or planets based on the art that's shown portraying what she's saying. So, I don't see the point he's trying to say here. They're going from one thing within the other, within the other, within the other.
And housing countless worlds does not necessarily mean that each galaxy houses a planet, right? This would
What? Let me just hear this guy out.
simply mean that the universes house countless worlds, right? So there's a
Universes contain galaxies. This guy has to be trolling.
inherently mean that the universes itself are countless worlds, as obviously an infinite amount of universes would mean an infinite amount of worlds, right? So these, again, are not separated by a space-time continuum. So
we already debunked this. Don't worry about this, guys.
Even assuming that these are an actual infinite multiverse is actually pretty fallacious in itself. However, though, we can indeed...
Oh, no.
No.
It's definitely not fallacious.
That's
the hell?
definitely not fallacious. They say there are infinite variations of our worlds. Entire universes separate from one another. If they're separate, why would they have the same space-time continuum?
And Ian adds to that saying that there is, there's infinite variations.
Interpret it to that pretty contextually if you want to interpret it based on scientific theories in which we have a multiverse in which there are separate space-time continuums, right? However, though, that's basically the context of the scam. So in terms of the higher planes of existence,
That is not the context of us.
Let me alright.
Let's see. Oh my god.
it shows the scan which says we evolve into a higher plane. Moments later, a higher plane of reality. Our father saw me in a dream. Elsewhere, in a realm outside time, space, the entity who was once Knuckles, the echidna senses. So basically, it is referring to a higher plane in the first scan. The higher plane that it's referring to realistically is not really contextualized. However, though it
not contextualized. They literally state it's the Chaos Force.
No, keep playing. Watch what he says.
How many times is this dude gonna crop images? What the heck?
Yeah, that's the main problem with this guy. He cropped the images so we don't have the full context.
Yeah. Ratty.
Oh well.
I'm not sure if it's
Well, this is,
I'm not sure it's Booga's fault.
it's not me. He's debunking someone else's video.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah, and I just remembered. Thanks, High Ground.
Yeah.
There dreams are stated to be parallel realities. Yeah.
So if one has a space-time continuum or something akin to one, the other would as well.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
A higher plane, right, does not necessarily equate to a higher plane of existence that this person is trying to get at, right?
It says moments later on a higher plane of reality. Reality is existence. Hold on, let me.
Keep playing. I'm gonna roast this in real soon. Don't worry. I got this whole section made for that.
No. The state or quality of having existence or substance. The world or the state of things as they actually exist. Reality is the sum or aggregate of all that is real or existent within a system. What is this dude talking about?
So this higher plane can just be referring to, higher meaning further inside the upwards direction.
What
Literally says evolve.
What it can refer to and what it actually refers to are two different things. You are appealing to possibility. They literally said in a realm outside of time, space. It cannot be within a direction. It has none. It's outside of space and time.
Upwards meaning the direction that is opposite from the from gravity, right?
Where is mentioned in that scan? Where?
Nowhere.
So realistically, we can just equate this to he is simply higher, right? Moments later, we're in a higher plane of reality. Our father saw me in a dream, like this. So if you're really trying to equate this to a reality fiction transcendence to equate a higher plane of existence, that would be fine. However, though, these scans do not necessarily equate that, right? Moments.
No. Don't come to me with that reality fiction transcendence shit. It's one of the most ballistic, rattiest arguments you could ever argue. First of all, not being real doesn't mean something has a superior depth, length, width, height, and etc. It just means you don't have the same concrete level of being. One is an object of belief. One is an object of knowledge. One is an object of opinion. So, let's look at it. Let's look at it this way. If I thought up of a 800-pound, 10-foot tall male with bulging muscles, hardened skin, and could punch through 6 walls in a single punch. The only reason why he wouldn't kick I or your asses is because he's imaginary. Oh man. Because other than that, he would fold you. If he had any sort of concrete existence, he would fold you. He is not inferior to you. He just doesn't exist where you are.
Months later, on a higher plane of reality, our father saw me in a dream. Now, realistically, right, you can indeed interpret this to a reality fiction transcendence. However, though, there isn't necessarily enough context to that. For example, our
Oh man. But I'm gonna take a nice bet and say that this guy thinks that Beat's world is a reality fiction transcendence over Dragon Ball's world, even though it's stated to be the future of Xenogoku's world. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet, guys?
I'm pretty sure he did do that, did he? I've heard he did, but...
Knew it.
father saw me in a dream means absolutely nothing. For example, you can dream about your parents and you don't necessarily in a higher plane than them, right? Meaning that this is a...
Here's the thing. Actually, I won't use it. I want to give this guy a shred of a chance.
hasty generalization, again, and a slippery slope to just assume that this is a dimensional transcendence. However, though, what would realistically...
You know that beings in Sonic can dream of spaces that encompass every concept, every limit, every range, every scope. Hold on, let me get this. Hold on, let me just get the scan. Yep, let me
Alright, here's one from Type Chaos. Is the fourth dimension in Sonic Shuffle related to spatio-temporal dimensions? I don't think so, because it has no scientific mathematical background, but I think it can encompass any and all sizes, ranges, concepts, scopes, considering dreams have no limits in Sonic. Is this agreeable?
Sure.
And you want to know what fourth dimensional space is? Hold on, let me look this up. Actually, let me just go to Sonic Shuffle space. They literally say it right here, by the way.
I don't typically like
Max fragrances.
It's taking me through a world of emotions.
Traveled through.
It looks like they're projected on a screen. They're beautiful.
Lumina, what is this place?
This is the fourth dimension, the world Illumina dreamed of. It's
So, if Illumina can just casually dream of a world that encompasses all concepts and shit. Oh, come on. If Illumina can dream of a world that encompasses all concepts, all ranges, all scopes, and all that, then I think, someone can dream. I think someone can definitely dream a higher plane of existence. That's not outside the realm of possibility. Actually, no, that's just probability. It's just stupid.
Equate to some sort of dimensional transcendence is a realm outside of time space. The entity who was once Knuckles, the echidna, senses, right? So in a realm
about that. Just about that. Just about that. Hold on, let me No. No. Where is it? Oh my god, I can't find it. But I do have this video. We can use this.
Here's a question from Rolling Frenzy. Can or does the term dimension in Sonic refer to concepts of reality, concepts of size, concepts of worlds, universes, zones, and realms or planes? Can it also contain them? For example, Blaze's world is contained in her dimension. Yes or no?
My understanding is that dimensions are the biggest bucket that everything else fits into. So yes, Blaze's world is in her dimension. Blaze's universe, Blaze's solar system, Blaze's different planes of existence, they are in her dimension.
Yeah. And
Mark, what were you trying to find anyways?
I was trying to find influence saying that the chaos force is platonic.
Oh, okay.
I mean, well, I can use this. Basically, the chaos force is a realm where the concept of time and shit is irrelevant. Let me look to that scan. It's right here. Even if you had, the concept of time is irrelevant to one such as I. Not only that, but abstract.
Get the skills employers want and the flexibility you need with a Google Careers.
So in a Bumblecast Live, you said Platonism can/could maybe exist in the world of Sonic. I think it can, but not in the way of everything is not real, but the doctrine that abstract objects like ideas, numbers, concepts, thoughts, and etc. exist. Is this agreeable?
Works for me.
Sure. I do believe that ideas, numbers, concepts, and thoughts and stuff like that probably exist in Sonic's world, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think those are all, you can establish each as being referenced directly in some game somewhere, so sure.
Sure.
Yeah. Thoughts are abstract objects like Platonic ideas. And what are dreams? Dreams. A series of thoughts, images, and sensations occurring in a person's mind during sleep. So, in extreme would be a Platonic transcendence. Bare minimum. Since thoughts are abstract objects. So I don't know where you get this dimensional transcendence and reality fiction transcendent shit. Platonic ideas are beyond that.
Outside time space, right? So outside time space is not necessarily a real term. However, though, if you equate these two, this would obviously refer to...
It's not a real term. Literally aspatial, atemporal. Hold on. Not spatial. Not related to, limit to, or associated with a particular space or area. Not spatial. What does spatial mean? Relating or occupying space. So, chaos force is outside of space, making it aspatial. Let's look at atemporal. Existing or considered without relation to time. What does temporal mean? Relating to time. Since it's outside of space and outside of time, it is aspatial and atemporal, which is beyond dimensionality. That's literally universal, bare minimum. And I don't mean by versus Battle Wiki terms, because versus Battle Wiki, their Turing system is bound by dimensionality.
To outside of space-time, which would, inherently mean that this is outside of a space-time continuum, meaning that this person is existing outside of time. Now, since it wasn't necessarily shown that he's moving outside of time, or realistically...
Oh my god. You see, now, if the scans weren't cropped, you would see that Knuckles is moving within that realm outside of space and time. But that's just self-evident if you actually read the comics.
Beyond time itself, right? This would only realistically equate to Knuckles here, or whoever this character is referring to, or whatever the scan is referring to.
That's Aurora.
He's already talking. Knuckles is already talking, so he already debunked. He already debunked himself.
Yeah.
Realistically be just outside of it, not necessarily scaling anywhere, since he didn't provide any destruction or any sort of actual higher plane. It's not stated to be beyond space or time, or necessarily...
Oh my fucking god. Now he's ratting. Now he's just fucking ratting. This nigga's just fucking ratting. Holy shit.
Not surprising.
Oh yeah, this is this is the full scan, by the way. You literally see Knuckles teleporting inside that realm and moving in it. Like, come on. And there's also this as well, funny enough. It says, We of the Brotherhood did not simply die, as you crudely put it, Knuckles. We evolved to the higher plane. Brother Steppenwolf is correct. We are connected to the Chaos Force, which binds all together. So the higher plane is referring to the Chaos Force.
Yup.
Pretty blatant.
It's pretty blatant if you actually read the comics, but, you know, people don't really do that, you know? So, like, not only that, but the next scan, I think, even says that it's a plane beyond. It's beyond. What does beyond mean? Let's look that up. Outside the understanding, limits, or reach of. This is clearly the context they're using.
Yeah. Supported by him even saying evolved in it. Evolving to a higher plane.
Yeah. Right here. Superior to, surpassing, wise, beyond all others. Wait, what was I looking for again?
Huh?
I was looking for something. I can't remember. Couldn't be that important. Anyway, we already debunked it, so.
Transcendent over it. Neither is it stated to be completely viewing space and time completely infinitely lower, right?
Oh my god. He's using the rat argument that, the verse doesn't display that, space-time is viewed as infinitely lower. It didn't explicitly state it, so therefore, it's not the case. It has to be the goofiest argument I've ever heard.
Bro, the amount of verses that would downscale going by that logic, it's not even funny.
Exactly. Just remembered what I was looking for. Hold on. Chaos Force is beyond comprehension. I exist in a zone far beyond your comprehension. Not just beyond your comprehension, far beyond it. Let's look at the next one.
Oh yeah, let's assume.
Where is it? No, where is it? Where is it?
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the scan where it states that the Chaos Force exists beyond. But I think we already showed that, so I'm not gonna worry about
the context of something being, low complex multiversal, for example, or fifth dimensional, right, would inherently require you to actually have a complete dimensional transcendence over the time axis, not just being.
It's literally called a realm beyond. I don't get the point you're trying to make here. It's called a realm beyond, a higher plane of reality. Therefore, it cannot just be outside, it also has to be beyond. It's outside in the sense that it's beyond it.
Yeah, it's pretty blatant.
Beyond it. For example, if someone is beyond space and time, this would mean that, in terms of attack potency, this would mean that they're able to affect things outside of the space-time continuum, which would only qualify for low multiversal. Alright.
Or talk about the Mantia scan.
No, that's not it.
Oh, okay.
So the next part, or the next scan, right, is referring to the fact that he claimed that he's trying to make is Archie Sonic. The thing that this guy is now trying to say is that Archie Sonic and Game Sonic share the same cosmology, since the events of Solaris was referenced in Archie comics, and Archie Sonic, or Conic, quote unquote, never fought Solaris, it was Game Sonic. Right, so there's nothing necessarily wrong with that logic. Not logic necessarily, so we will just...
That's not even... Oh. I don't want to slander the guy who originally made it, but that's not what it means. He interpreted it wrong.
Yeah, this is what I responded right here. I actually responded to this to go back to the Chaos Force.
What the fuck?
I said,
he basically
finally
said
a point I can agree on.
He said that Archie didn't experience Sonic 06, even though the encyclopedia that's in specifically states that it happened in Archie.
Finally, a point I can agree on. I do agree that a reference plus same characters to the same cosmology. However, this is entirely not the case for Sonic. I won't spend too much time in this portion, since it is literally Sega's intent for everything to be canon in the same verse. And this is not a canon video, but a cosmology video. The fact that Verse already has infinite universe is already proof enough to suggest they exist in the same cosmology, since that possibility will always exist until said otherwise. And then I sent the everything is canon statement.
Yeah, he's reading this.
Yeah, you can consider it my script, I guess.
You guys can pause to read this one. That's an idea. But I'll show the pictures. Aaron Weber, who's the director of strategies for Sega Japan. Meaning, he's higher than Ian Flynn is, who is a lore manager.
No, bro, we all know brand managers don't have more power, clearly.
Yeah, man.
Niggas be like...
Everything is canon. Forever. I mean, there's tons of other evidence I could bring in, but that would just make...
We don't really need to.
That would just make this video too long.
Yeah. Yup.
Yeah, this video is gonna be long as it is.
That logic, not logic necessarily, so we will just dismiss that scan. However, though, I will say right now that just because something actually exists in something, and yet something never really was referenced in another thing, doesn't now automatically correlate to them sharing the same amount of cosmology or the same world.
Nah, we're gonna need that scan. We're gonna need that scan.
Which
You're gonna
one?
need that scan expeditiously. You're gonna need that scan
Which one?
expeditiously. The one where it states that Game Sonic is in Sega's Multiverse. I mean, Game Sonic is in
okay.
Archie Sonic's Multiverse. That.
Oh, that the influence statement. Okay.
Oh, hold on. Here we go.
I mean, if you want, I could just send my Quora post, and you can put that into your description.
Nah.
That sounds too long.
That will not be fucking necessary. I already found it.
Alright.
Yep. Found it expeditiously.
I should probably still send that for you to put in your description when you're done with the video.
Yeah.
So people can't bitch about this being not canon.
What are you talking about, Scourge?
I'm talking about my Quora post. We're gonna put that in the video description.
Yeah.
Okay.
But basically,
Wait.
Ian Flynn responds to a question. So does that mean that the Gameverse Sonic is located in a different bunch of multiverses separated from the Archie multiverse? Said no. Pure Sega Sonic is part of the multiverse. In the real world, the games are obviously the base canon. In the fiction of the comic, Mobius Prime is the core of the multiverse. So, it clearly does share the same cosmology. And I have a bunch of scans, so let's just go to this.
My older boyfriend is quite sneaky, and sorry not sorry, but he managed to captivate me even though he's not my
Like, what type of commercial is that?
For real.
That's fucking what?
Goofy.
Oh. Alright. Let's just look at this video. You said you can use the parallel universe from Tales 2 to say that everything is canon.
Tales Tube implied endless possibility / infinite Sonics in the game Multiverse. One possibility equals one parallel universe in Boom / Archie, plus maybe the games. So, is there an endless / infinite amount of parallel universes in the game Multiverse?
Now, keep in mind, Tails was speculating, because he has no way to actually monitor or investigate this with hard science.
Yet.
We know for a fact that Blaze's universe exists, but beyond that, it was more speculative. So, if you want to say that there is a myriad of possible Sonic universes out there, and thus everything is canon, the official material isn't going to contradict you.
That's all I needed, Ian Flynn. That is all I needed. All Sonic universes are in the game Multiverse. And the game Multiverse is part of the Archie Multiverse. Therefore, they share the same cosmology.
For example, you can have any verse, right? And you can have one villain that exists in one verse, have the same villain referenced inside of another verse, however, though not necessarily interacted with by a character from this different verse. However, though, since these are from the same creators, right, you can interpret it this way, however, though this does indeed seem fallacious. For example, Tails exists within Archie Sonic, right, or the Archie comics, right, and Tails also exists within the games, right? Does this mean that this Tails is automatically the exact same Tails? No, because they do different things within the stories. Basically, what I'm trying to get at here is because of the fact that just because one thing is referenced in one thing and it's referenced in another thing, however, that was not directly interacted with, doesn't necessarily mean the cosmology of said thing is exactly the same. So realistically, this would be a hasty generalization, as I said before. This would also be an appeal to belief, and this would be a false equivalence fallacy and also a dissociation fallacy via just.
Yeah, it is, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. It's kind of faulty logic that the original guy uses to say that they share the same cosmology.
Just assuming that one thing exists in one thing exists in multiple cases, this case is automatically applied universally, which is obviously untrue. So he also says this is backed up by the fact that Sega has said everything is canon. Now, since this tweet is very, very sus...
What? No! 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 No!
Okay.
No! 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 This is not happening. Okay, that's, yeah. Hey, at least you can't say that I'm stuck pedophile or something. Anyway, Sonic Hedgehog thing is canon. Yeah, says everything is canon. Now let me go to the post.
Man, it's sus, man. It's sus. Whoa.
The fact that you even use the word like
For news about all things Sonic. So I don't want to hear that shit.
That doesn't prove anything.
We can obviously have, your own contentions with this. However, though, we will go on assuming that this statement is indeed true. However, though, it wouldn't necessarily make that much sense, assuming that they would be replying to this or replying to a tweet from Poyo Poyo. Poyo Poyo, is known for actually creating a Tetris game. Now...
So, anybody want to add commentary on that? Yeah, it's very stupid. Considering that Puyo Puyo is associated with Sonic, and that's what it was referring to.
That was a crop scan again.
Yeah. Sonic defeated Eggman's Death Egg robot that has surpassed Infinite and which was powered by the Phantom Ruby. This Death Egg robot has... No. I have surpassed Infinite to become the complete and ultimate form. I don't see anything wrong with this.
Now, he then claims Sonic defeated Eggman's death robot that was surpassed by Infinite and which was powered by Phantom Ruby. Hold on. So, wait. Okay, so he claims, right? So the scan itself says the Earth Egg robot has, no, I've repaired Infinite to become the complete and ultimate form, right? So just because this thing that's created Infinite doesn't inherently mean that it is stronger than Infinite.
No, he literally says that I have surpassed infinite to become the complete and ultimate form.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There is no ifs or buts about it. If you look at Sonic Forces, Sonic literally goes against the Death Egg robot that create thousands of infinite clones. That should mean it has thousands of times the energy infinite has. That's just common sense.
It anyway, but assuming that their logic is indeed true, right? The Death Egg robot is surpassed infinite. This contradicts his next statement, in which he says Infinite was stated to be Sonic's strongest villain.
No.
It was before they introduced the Death Egg robot. It obviously didn't include him. This was said before the game released.
As the Death Egg robot, we are assuming, is a villain, so he just directly contradicted himself. Sonic's most
Bruh. This guy doesn't know the context of what he's saying.
powerful enemy yet infinite. Even heroes need help, so you must be... Well, I mean, this can be interpreted as, you know, actually like a actual true statement. So that's not necessarily contradicted at all in the scan itself. However, though, you do need to realize that the previous scan kind of contradicts that statement, and this context of this statement made, you know, can actually be sort of vague. For example, it's stated to be powerful, right? Not necessarily strong or like faster or like any sort of other way of interpreting it, right? So realistically, right, you know, this being Sonic's most powerful enemy yet doesn't necessarily make sense, right? And
it does make sense. It says Sonic's most powerful enemy yet. This was before the Death Egg robot was introduced. Therefore, he's stronger than every one of Sonic's previous foes, except the Death Egg robot. It's that simple.
You could also bring up some more contradictions by the fact that Shadow, without his inhibitor rings, right, which was indeed a previous enemy to Sonic, was actually able to blitz a lot of Infinite's army inside of one of the games. So this...
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. You want to say something corrupt?
Not really. I saved the video for that. I don't care enough to fucking debunk that.
Oh, my God. This is just stupid. Again, this was before the Death Egg robot was introduced, and the characters got stronger.
Is kind of a uncontextualized statement and is also contradictory. He also says that Sonic defeated him in base form, which we will just assume is true, right?
No, you will not assume it's true. It is true.
So this doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Exactly, you didn't play the game or watch the cutscenes.
So far.
I might not play the game, but I did watch the cutscene.
Alright.
He then says, Eggman with the Phantom Ruby created null space. Right? The scan says infinite abilities are empowered by the Phantom Ruby, which can create universes with space-times like the Egg Reverie Zone, then the null space, which is closed off from everything. This includes imaginary world and Jungian archetype. This obviously makes null space dimensionless. This is obviously not any scan from any game, as it is referring to a summary of multiple realms, actually, you know, already referenced within the series, and this is not necessarily a scan which is directly, inherently made in some game or some, you know, official source. It is...
What? Heck, Reverie Zone, Null Space, Imaginary World are things from the games. What is this man talking about?
They literally reference Shuffle literally in the Forces comic with referencing the Precious Stone.
Yeah.
It's just a white screen of text. So there does need to be actual sources for this scan made. However, though, let's actually assume that this is actually true, right? So let's assume that the Agraviri zone and null space, right, are actual space-time continuums, and the Phantom Ruby powers both of them. So he did say before that the Death Egg was powered by the same Phantom Ruby. So you can argue that this Death Egg robot, at its absolute full power, is, scales to these two space-time continuums, which would be low multiversal straight up. Okay, however, though, he did actually claim that Imaginary World, a Jungian archetype, is dimensionless. Now let's actually discuss about Jungian archetypes real quick. So a Jungian archetype are metaphysical ways, or more so supernatural ways, to describe human consciousness, right? Human consciousness containing things like ego and unconscious or subconscious thoughts, such as anger, and form things like emotions, right? Concepts of emotions, concepts of ideas such as memory, knowledge, and such like that, right? The only problem is that these are realistically just metaphysical ways to describe human consciousness. Now, you could argue that
No. 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 No.
This man really took this shit off Wikipedia.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
No. He's just saying that they're consciousness, therefore they don't scale anymore.
No. Go on until we get to the Platonism part. I'll rip this apart then. You contradict each other.
Hold on, let me get the scan.
Yeah. Okay.
I got the scan, guys. I got the scan. Yep. Let's see. Personal psyche. It has contents and modes of behavior that are more or less the same everywhere in all individuals. It is, in other words, identical in all men, and thus constitutes a common psychic substrate of suprapersonal nature which is present in every one of us. Psychic existence can be recognized only by the presence of contents that are capable of consciousness. We can therefore speak of the unconscious insofar as we are able to demonstrate its contents. Hold on, let me okay. It says archetype is an explanatory paraphrase of the Platonic ethos. Now, you could pause this to read the scan yourself, but it literally says it. And it's a paraphrase. Express the meaning of something using different words, especially to achieve greater clarity. A rewording of something written or spoken by someone else. Platonic ideas are real, objective things according to Plato. So therefore, they cannot scale nowhere. They have to scale somewhere.
The definition of metaphysics does indeed refer to something that is governs concepts like space and time. However, though, what does spirituality mean? Anything that is directly spiritual or directly supernatural in a sense, right, would refer to something that is indeed metaphysical or is at the very least non-corporeal. That is exactly what spirituality is. It refers to metaphysical things, right? So if you were to try and argue that Jungian archetypes actually just operate off of metaphysics, which, automatically gives them a specific tier or dimension or outerversal, quote unquote, right? This would realistically mean that Gon from Hunter x Hunter, who is able to manipulate Nen, which is just a blatant spiritual ability which actually functions off the
Not the same thing. Not the same thing. Jungian archetypes are directly related to Platonic forms, which are outerversal bare minimum. And, hold on. Not only that, but Jungian archetypes are beyond categories of numbers, space, and time. It's pretty blatant. The archetype itself, nota bene, not the archetypal representation, is psychoid, i.e. transcendental, and thus relatively beyond the categories of number, space, and time. That means it approximates to oneness and immutability. So, what's this man talking about, man? What's he talking about? No one has none of this.
Concepts of actual emotions and restrictions, right, automatically become outerversal. This is obviously fallacious, as these abilities are made to actually power up finite three-dimensional things or three-dimensional attacks and are used to destroy three-dimensional things, right?
These have nothing to do with Jungian archetypes. Somehow.
So things that are automatically spiritual or metaphysical do not inherently correlate to strength automatically, right? And we'll apply this to Jungian archetypes. And
no, you can't apply that to Jungian archetypes, because Jungian archetypes are beyond the categories of space, time, and numbers, and are paraphrases of the Platonic eidos, aka Platonic forms.
Watch what he says next.
Yeah, let's watch what he says next.
Jungian archetypes just get directly contradicted for the fact that Platonism apparently exists inside the verse, and Platonic concepts do not necessarily...
Platonism existing in the verse is not a contradiction that Jung's flipped unconscious, since Jung already contains every philosophy and mythology in its matrix. That's in Chaos Force if you want to show them the scans.
Yeah, let's show these guys a scan. The unconscious is the matrix of all metaphysical statements, of all mythology, of all philosophy, and of all expressions of life that are based on psychological premises. Yeah, it says it right here. Says that unconscious is the matrix of all metaphysical statements, of all mythology, of all philosophy, so far as this is not merely critical, and of all expressions of life that are based on psychological premises. So it doesn't contradict it at all.
Really coincide with Jungian archetypes. Archetypal concepts are concepts that directly coincide with each other, and if one concept is destroyed or altered, all the other concepts get altered as well. However,
No, I'm going to need a source on this. It's never stated by Plato that destroying a concept would destroy all aspects of it at all.
Platonism, that doesn't necessarily happen, right? These are just two completely different systems that directly contradict each other. Also, concepts such as emotional things, such as anger, beauty, death, love, or knowledge, right? All of these things are subjective concepts, or just refer to things like...
What? What? No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. Plato literally states that the Platonic ideas are real. Therefore, they cannot be subjective. And hold on. Let me get the statement of hold on. Again, Utopia. 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 An ideal world created from Platonic idea.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'll highlight it right here so you can pause and read.
It was even standard material as well, I'm pretty sure. That was.
Yeah. Tonic.
I think we're almost there.
We're almost done with this shit. Believe it.
Thank God.
Oh.
I just toasted some bread in the middle of this.
I might have a big meal after this shit.
I mean, it should be.
Why isn't it there?
I saw it earlier.
I literally saw it.
Oh, it's around. I think it. Yeah. It's like one of the night scans.
No, it's there.
That was a Journey to Dream stuff. There's like a scan of this somewhere.
Yeah. Unless someone deleted it.
I saw in the doc when you were scrolling through it in the video earlier.
Yeah, so no one would have been deleted. Probably because there's too much shit to look through.
Oh,
I mean, I can just repost it again.
I found it.
Oh.
I found it.
Okay. Yeah, the conjugate uses Platonic.
This.
Yeah.
Right here. Here, in Platonic thought. So dreams contain Platonic ideas. This is Literally how it works. Cannot be denied. Plato. Exists. No, come on. On the source before. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this alone. But basically, Plato argues that every idea is real. Therefore, it cannot be subjective. Because subjective is based on or influenced by personal feelings, tastes, or opinions. So, can't really scale nowhere. Because he's going to argue that they scale nowhere.
I'm pretty sure that's the last major thing we have to tackle. Let's see, though.
Let's just continue.
Things just directly correlating to the human body. For example, death medically or objectively is just when a life form's heart just stops pumping, right? Anger is referred to as the amygdala inside the brain, right? Or just like triggered by the amygdala inside the brain, right? So all of these things, right, are more so just movements that connect to, very small things like, particles inside the human brain. Obviously, those objectively do not really scale that high. Now,
No. Platonic ideas transcend space and time. They are not ideas in the way you're describing. This is just stupid.
Objectively, right? Subjectively, you can make arguments that you can actually get these abstract to dimensionality. The problem with this is that subjective concepts, right? Now, if you're trying to put this in a subjective manner, this means that someone can have the highest interpretation of something and the lowest interpretation of something. For example, someone can say that these concepts are absolute boundless and nothing in fiction, real life, or any conceptualization whatsoever can surpass a Platonic concept, whilst one will say this concept is zero, nowhere, below zero, negative D, right? Realistically, right, this means that anything subjective is automatically put to zero, right? You need to actually make...
Okay, I'm going to do this. Can you prove that Plato said that Platonic ideas are subjective? Because if you don't do that, it's moot. This whole discussion is moot. It means nothing. Now I found the scam. Let me post it. For Plato, forms such as beauty are more real than any objects that imitate them. Done. They're real. They cannot be subjective.
These concepts objective in order to actually get them to scale anywhere, right? So this is why things like...
Oh my god. He's using Drip Sauce's argument, isn't he? Yeah, he's using Drip Sauce's argument.
Well, that's how we know we shouldn't be taken seriously then.
I'm going to have to make a debunk on that. So fucking stupid.
Platonic concepts or archetypal concepts or concepts in general need to be scaled, which is why the only concepts, quote unquote, that actually scale anywhere are actually dimensionality, space, and time. And this is where you would scale any other abstract concept to in order to actually get it higher. For example, the concept of anger or concept of death. If this automatically does not scale anywhere. However, though, if it's stated to have it so that death operates over the entire universe, okay, the concept of death is inherently now universal, right? However, though, if this concept of death is now stated to be beyond the concepts of space, time, and dimensionality, you now have an outerversal construct or an outerversal concept. The problem is, in all of these fictional worlds, they don't actually have an established cosmology or an actual established transcendence with these concepts to actually get them to these places. It's not like Dragon Quest where they just directly say that the concepts of space and time are directly irrelevant to the concepts of chaos. And this is just referring to
This is pretty funny. This is pretty funny. Because death object in Plato's philosophy. Abstract objects transcend the concepts of space and time. Therefore, they would automatically be outerversal. We do not need the explicit shit. In order for it to not be the case, the verse would have to contradict that. Yet, it clearly doesn't. So this point that he's trying to make doesn't really make any sense. It's a ploy to downplay a verse because he doesn't want it getting over.
The imaginary world just being a Jungian archetype, right? And realistically, Jungian archetypes in general are completely based off of consciousness and unconsciousness or collective.
Nope, they are paraphrases of the Platonic forms.
Unconsciousness, right? Or have concepts that arise through these things, right?
Nope, they also transcend the categories of space, time, and numbers.
Which are realistically just receptors moving inside the brain and, sensors.
Nope, that's the personal unconscious.
Is actually being triggered inside the brain. So realistically, without actually scaling these in the more subjective sense, this is realistically only brain particle level in terms of power. So the imaginary...
No, it isn't. The imaginary world contains worlds. It contains the fourth dimensional space, which contains all concepts, all ranges, all scopes. But nah, you're not ready for that.
World doesn't necessarily scale anywhere. And since these imaginary worlds are Jungian archetypes, which are not supposed to be physical, right, this would...
I don't see why being physical would matter. It transcends space, time, and numbers. The concepts, the categories. So, it has to scale somewhere. And it can't be 4D or any dimension, because it's dimensionless. And it has to be above dimensionality since it's above categories of space and time, which means it would be above spatial dimensions and temporal dimensions. Therefore, we can deduct that it's outerversal.
Realistically just make it so that this is nothing, meaning that Phantom Ruby is able to power nothing or lower planes, because we know that dreams on the Versus Battles wiki are actually just described as a qualifier for the hypoverse level tier, which refers to lower dimensional structures.
Hold on, let me archetypals. Okay. Characters are objects that demonstrate power equivalent to destroying/creating an essentially inferior 1D level construct of any size, or 2 levels of infinity/degrees of reality, fiction, transcendence, or similar beneath a 3D reality. Hold on. Huh! Don't see dreams qualifying anywhere. No, I don't see it. So this guy straight up lied.
Meaning that Jungian archetypes do not necessarily scale anywhere, right? So then we also have, the last statement, which says that, it's a world of nothing created by the Phantom Ruby and closed off from every dimension. Now, every dimension, we know the term dimension can refer to a universe, right?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I knew you would try that. Because Dragon Ball Fads and all those other guys try it. Funny. Because there's this thing called dimensions of reality.
Do dimensions of reality in Tales Tube number 4 refer to the kinds, types, and theories of dimensions in our world, like spatial dimensions, temporal dimensions, etc.?
Sure.
And Ian Flynn is the one that actually helped write the Tales Tube, so I don't want to hear any excuses. So when it says closed off from every dimension, it's closed off from dimensions of reality as well, unless Ian Flynn says otherwise. Or, it's contradicted by the later games.
It doesn't necessarily have to refer to different spatial or higher levels or planes of existence automatically.
Dimensions of reality. It refers to every dimension that exists in our world. Spatial, temporal, etc.
That would obviously just be a hasty generalization and a lack of context fallacy or lack of context fallacy.
No, it's just basic logic. If it says it's closed from every dimension, that means it's closed from all dimensions.
It's not necessarily referring to that automatically, so we actually determine what dimension is most likely in this context. And since it...
No. We know that it's a world of nothing created by the Phantom Ruby. So, it cannot have a spatial or temporal dimension. And we know it's closed off from every dimension. Now, dimension, the kanji used for dimension isn't world, but mathematical dimension. Jungian. So, you can deduct that it's referring to every kind of dimension that exists in Sonic, unless explicitly stated otherwise. That is your safest bet.
It is closed off from every dimension, right? Closed, obviously meaning restricted from, closed off meaning restricted from, and stuff like that, would mean that it's just closed off from the other universes or outside of these universes, right?
Or, like I said, it's beyond every dimension, including dimensions of reality, since it says every dimension, which means all dimensions.
So Sonic was actually able to have author authority or story manipulation based off of scans that directly refer to, manipulating stories or changing the stories and stuff like that. Realistically, this is just time manipulation at its finest or at its absolute.
Oh my god. He didn't play the game. He didn't even watch the cutscenes. Eraser was literally eradicating and manipulating the plot of the Arabian Nights. I'm not gonna entertain this. Just literally either play the games or watch the cutscenes.
Yeah.
Corrupt. Do you have a document on Sonic having plot manipulation?
No, I don't care to grab it either, honestly.
Yeah, but people are gonna say we didn't debunk it. So
I don't really care. This isn't a past debunk. This is just a cosmology debunk, so all I do is shit.
Yeah.
Let people bitch about all they want. They're gonna bitch about whatever we fucking do anyways. They always do.
That's true. Anyway, let's continue. This is very stupid. Literally just play the game or watch the cutscene.
Let's get this shit over with.
Best. Or realistically just him being able to change the future realistically, or just like looking upon a past and literally just trying to change a future made upon that past. For example, the entire point of modern society today is to actually advance from medieval times and such like that, right? So Darkspine Sonic does not have theoretical author authority, right? Which
that's not even what happened. I know you didn't even watch the cutscenes.
Theoretically, which would people would try and interpret it as actually just being above everything, right? So in conclusion, right, he tries to say that this scale is 4 layers into infinite boundless. Realistically, from what I've gotten here, right, in terms of any character actually being scaled to anything, the best example of this is the Phantom Ruby, or that one hand that's holding in millions of universes. Right now, these millions of universes, as I did say before, can be interpreted more likely to just be finite universes and not necessarily.
No. Sonic's universe is called an abyss. In the Sonic Adventure 2 guidebook. An abyss is something endless. Therefore, Sonic's universe has to be infinite.
Necessarily space-time continuums. However, though, if you do try and make the argument that Solaris inside of his scale...
Oh, wait. I just realized I had a scan for something like this. Yeah. This.
I have actually been a customer of BetterHelp for a little over 2 years now, and I was able to get matched up with a therapist in like.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the scam. This one confirms that Sonic's universe contains everything that exists.
Me. What is just one of the possibly many definitions of the universe across the Sonic multiverse? Can it be said it's like the regular definitions, like everything that exists, and another definition can be the totality of existence?
Sure.
Alright.
Yeah. It's literally right there. Since infinity clearly exists in Sonic, Sonic's universes would contain that, making it infinite in size. It's not that hard of a concept to grasp.
Was stated to destroy all possible timelines, right? The timelines have no actual specific scans that prove that there's infinite different space-time continuums, however, though.
Okay.
I'm not even going to humor that.
We established that possibilities equal parallel worlds, and Sonic follows moral realism. And we know that possible worlds would contain a different space in a different time, right? So, why would it not be a separate space-time continuum? This is just a ploy to clearly try to downplay Sonic and make him seem not impressive.
If you do want to say that this infinite multiverse is actually referring to an infinite number of space-time continuums, and him being able to, eat all of it, right, can scale to multiverse plus. However, though more reliably, this is only low multiversal, as we.
No. There are an infinite amount of possibilities within space. Each world has a space-time continuum. So each world would be multiverse plus bare minimum. And that's not even counting the recursive transcendences and all of that. Like, let's look at Sonic and look at this. Sonic and the Secret Rings contains Sonic and the Secret Rings. Like, it exists within the Arabian Nights, aka Sonic and the Secret Rings. And the pages have power as well. So they actually exist. Not only that, but Sonic and the Secret Rings was added to the Arabian Nights. Hold on. Wait for it. The page was added. A page was added. So that would mean Sonic and the Secret Rings contains Sonic and the Secret Rings, which 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 contains Sonic and the Secret Rings ad infinitum. So, actually, lowballed, and this is disregarding the Platonic ideas and Jungian archetype scaling, it would be infinite dimensional with no context.
do know, as we did see inside the scales, that there's not enough evidence to conceptually prove different space-time continuums in the infinite universe scans. And the only thing that he did try and say is that the Phantom Ruby can hold different space-times. So, realistically, to conclude this more reliably, high universal at a low ball, low multiversal at a mid ball, and multiverse plus at a high ball via this scale. This
Nope.
Nope, not at all. You completely misinterpreted it.
Scale is butt cheeks. Do not actually get based off of this.
Like you're one to talk.
Yeah, like this guy is anyone to talk. First of all, your debunk is butt cheeks. Oh man, that has to be the funniest shit. Oh my god. Oh my god, the scare is butt cheeks. Nah, this debunk is butt cheeks. And we're debunking it.
The link is going to be in the description.
Hi everyone, my name is Goku Monkey King, or you may call me Goatkunax. My disc tag is Goatkunax. Nice to meet you. Let's get to the debunk.
Look at his name.
Now then, the Sonic fanboys think that Jungian archetypes scale anywhere to outer. Well, no. We'll be debunking Sonic tarts. Yeah, alright. So basically, it's talking about a dream at the deep valley of the psyche. Well, the problem is that dreams are...
No. That's not what it's talking about. That's not what it's talking about. Oh my god. That's really not what it's talking about. You're taking the scan out of context.
mental and abstract to our reality. We don't actually form them in actual physical manifestation that is known as physical correlation with our own reality.
So, because something isn't physical, it can't be outer-versal. Is that what you're saying? Because if that's what you're saying, then that's wrong. See, what the qualifications for outer-versal is to transcend the concepts of dimensionality, to transcend the concepts of space and time. It is not whether you're physical or not. Therefore, this is stupid.
It's subjective. It has no physical correlation with anything that we actually see or exist in actual reality. It's a mental plane of existence. In Jungian archetypes, it's part of the collective unconscious, which in the
It is a paraphrase of the Platonic forms. It transcends the categories of space, time, and numbers. It has to scale somewhere. And it can't be dimensional because it's beyond the categories of space and time, putting it above spatial dimensions and temporal dimensions.
collective unconscious, it holds an untold dreams, past and memories and knowledge that we won't know we already have in our own consciousness, or we can say it as the ego. The ego is basically our consciousness where we actually...
Okay, so are you gonna actually show a scan or not? I'm gonna need you to show a scan for all of
Nope.
this.
Nope.
Nope.
We draw, thinkly, the other, but so concept non-real that it is only the cannot object for civilization to see can rapid and scale. It's but We would have to mentalize Sagan's sticky mind world, etc. It's bane, fucking
I
just
don't
not the
blame
sun
you.
if
If
it's
they're not,
here
if they're not going to send to, it's not even worth
about
it.
collective unconscious.
But
Alright, so the second scan is talking about collective unconscious. But in Jung theory, collective unconscious is the subconscious universal place that is called memory and knowledge in dreams, which are so basically it's where another plane of existence in the mind where it's actually separate from the
It's not just of the mind. It's like it's like the realm of forms. You would know this if you actually read the book.
instead of taking shit out of context.
Yeah. Hold on, let me hold on. Of forms. I know I have. Actually, this scan works good too. It says it's not bound by space and time. This will do. I don't have to scan on me right now, but this will do. It helps move past fears that prevent you from being who you are when you enter the world of archetypes. You leave the outer world of space and time. The archetypal world is not bound by space and time. It's not just about your mother and father, but also about archetypes that encompass the world of mothers or fathers. It's an orientation, a destiny. Hold on, let me right here. And as I've already pointed out, it transcends the categories of number, space, and time. It approximates to oneness and immutability. And it is transcendental, so you can't even say that's not referring to transcendence.
consciousness, or it actually views untold things that we don't actually understand in the cosmic.
No scan.
To introduce that, I've been here. Alright, easily the content it's all by following the law of second standard. You would have to prove this argument is actually valid and arguably true by ontological axiomical evidence.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
It's end the video.
It's over. Shit.
Oh.
Oh my god. Okay, guys. We'll leave a bunch of our material in the description. We couldn't go through every single scan because it would make this video more than like 6 hours long, and we couldn't do that. So if you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and follow. You can follow the High Ground 33 or Corrupt Demigod, aka Percival the Knight of Flames. And
this is here, and I'll see you guys later.
yeah, and we will see you on the next one. Bye. Good night.
Bye.